ever quit? Will you ever fold? Will you ever give up? Oh, no, 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 no. Welcome to the huddle. Each one reach one. Each one teach one. If you are that one, then you got to know. If you don't already know, you need to know that you are enough. I'm talking about enough to get it right when everything around you seems to be going wrong. You are enough. Welcome to the huddle, Sister Keisha. Cakes by Keisha. Shout out. For real. 2026. She on the horse. I appreciate your attention. Because we know that your attention is the most powerful thing that you can pay. And I give my all. I'm talking about my all to be worthy of your attention in this moment. So if you on the replay or in the moment, I just want to say, man, I appreciate you. The P.O.P. show, Power of Perspective. Tonight, man, we're going to talk about going back to the future. Can you go back to the future? Saying I've been going by for 2026 when it comes to hero training, and truth is, it's either real to everybody or it ain't real to nobody at all. And they say, well, Trav, how you know? I say, I don't know, I just know. Well, everybody's mind don't work alike. Everybody don't think the same. I say, well, put a like in the same away and realize that everybody think. So can we just focus on thinking for a minute? Because it's real to everybody or it ain't real to nobody at all. And I just believe and understand to think that I know that everybody think. The same don't matter. There's a science to how the mind works. Can we talk about thinking and the power of thinking? In the 7 Hermetic laws of the universe, the first law of the universe is mentalism. Right now, we're standing in the moment. This morning, I was in a meeting with B.J. Murphy, and I say this with honor. Y'all know who B.J. Murphy was. He was the Breakfast Brothers. The way he introduced himself was, you know, I was No Limit Larry before No Limit Larry. If you from Charlotte, then you understand who the Breakfast Club and the Breakfast Brothers was. So I had a moment where we had to introduce ourselves. And I say I only represent the moment. The moment is now. And if you share this moment, I'm talking about right now, then everything brought you to it. I respect it. And everything that brought you to it is a thought process. Right now, if you clicking on me, that was a thought process that brought you to the moment. So can you go back to the future? There was a movie about this. I'm going to tell a story. And it's a real life story. There was a young man who stood in a place that he wasn't content and he wasn't comfortable. But it was a reflection of his circumstances. He worked hard in the moment. He yearned for a better situation. Every night when he laid down and closed his eyes, he would sit there and imagine what change would look like. He would wake up determined to make all the right choices that would lead him to the change he desired, the change he prayed for. He just wake up and lives one day at a time, one moment at a time, trying to make the best decision to get to a destination that he had created in his mind. And sometimes when you're in the journey, when you're in the path, They call it tunnel vision. You don't get caught on to what's on the sideline. You just focus, trying to achieve and trying to arrive. There's a powerful thing about manifestation. Arrival. A situation, a game changer that changes everything. And you begin to realize the things that you've yearned for and worked for have manifested. And you standing in a moment of joy, of honor. We all have experienced those moments. And at a moment, man, you can go back. You can go back if you real and if you have sincerely woke up every day with a mission. You can go back 5 years ago when you were sitting in the bathroom, standing in a room, driving home, and a moment hit you where you said, it is the moment, man, that I will change my mind and want more, do more, and go on a journey to achieve and receive. So we all can go back to the future. We all have that ability. Now, I gave a positive example. But we all go through life experiencing different things in life. Hurt, trauma, joy, love. There's a whole plethora and spectrum of emotions that we experience all day. But some people, cause and effect. That's another law of the universe. It works for everybody. It's real. There's some people, like I spoke on today, man, let me tell you about a gift. And this ain't about me. This is about how it works in the mind. See, sincerity is a magic. Feeling something in a moment where you can trust another. See, we human beings guard to one another, and when we in the presence of another that we feel have a sincere heart, there's something called magic that happens between two souls when one can feel so vulnerable enough to share something that they've never felt comfortable enough to share with anybody else in the world. Trav ain't never told nobody this. And if you real, you understand it. And they'll tell you what's wrong. They'll tell you what conditioned their mind. They'll tell you about when they was a child and it's something they experienced. That's a true reflection of all the future of their life from when they was a child even to the moment. Sometimes you're gifted enough with another to go back to realize what shaped their future. Some people don't want to go back to understand the future. Man, I travel a journey. And it can be a lonely journey when you're misunderstood. But you stand something in your soul. They say, how you know? I don't know, I just know. What made you think like that? Why you think like that? What happened to you? Man, the question be more powerful than the answer sometimes. I have to make so many stops back to understand the future. Those that know me were there. Those that know me, I've expressed it. I've explained it. There were certain things in my life that dictate who I am in this moment. Not in a bad way, but in a positive way. But I'm thankful that I could go back to realize what that moment means in the future when someone bears their soul to me and tell me, Trav, I ain't never told nobody this in my life. I can go back when brothers told me that and they ain't here no more. And that very same thing they told me, man, took them out this world. And it hurt me to my heart because in that moment, back then, I didn't understand what they was telling me. I didn't understand what to do with what they was telling me. And they dead and gone, so I got to go back to the moments for the future. The next time I'm standing before a brother or a sister who bearing their soul in a way that they ain't never told nobody. I got to go back to that to understand who I got to be in that future. Can you go back? Someone's daddy abandoned them. That would determine the future of their kids. Sometimes men stand in empathetic ways to say, I'm trying to be a good father, but I ain't have no father, so I don't know how to be a good father. And the son who has a father that's struggling with his relationship, but it's a hard relationship, don't understand, daddy, why you just can't do right, and the daddy got to struggle, but the son can't realize that you got to go back in your daddy past to understand the future. You the future, son. Talking real life shit. I ain't talking make believe. But they made a movie called Back to the Future about what I'm talking about when they got in the car and Marty McFly went back to when they was younger and they was trying to get them to change actions and decisions in their mind in particular moments, because those particular moments with a different decision and a different choice would make the outcome of the future different. When I got fired on my job at 27 years old and I was at the top of the mountain and I gave all I had and I realized the game don't love you, the game use you. I told myself I would never ever in my life love another white man job, even if I go work it. I can't pour my all into a job because I've been to the top and realized there's no legs in there for me. I can only give my all to something that's mine. I remember when I made that decision based out of hurt. But 20 years later, I got to realize that for 20 years, I ain't give my all. And I'm reaching a point where I realize I ain't leaving my family in the storm. You fuck, what kind of job you talking about? And I ain't saying I'm wrong, I ain't saying that's right, but I'm saying if you're in a level of leadership running a manufacturing plant that run 24/7, 7 days a week, if you at a certain position, then it's almost imperative to your first obligation to be in there to run that plant. I can't make that commitment, and I can go back when I made the decision 17, 18 years ago that dictate why I ain't gonna go too much higher in this here concept, because got to give you all to be that. Soul ain't want that no more in the future. And I got to go back and accept that. I got to go back and accept that in my frustrations of characterism and all the isms that says, I got to be accountable to go back. Talking real life shit. When he broke her heart, she said she'll never love again. She 50 and she lonely. She 50 and she vulnerable. She got a good heart and she want to do right. But if she go back to that moment when she was hurt and she ain't never changed her mind, then that moment dictated her future. Now, I ain't saying jump in an automobile and go back somewhere. I'm saying in your soul, in your spirit, can you at least go back? Sometimes we can just go back to yesterday and change our mind. And next week could be different than what you got last week. I want to give a shout out to my brother, Lamont Forte. I did a piece last week called Ego Sparring. Can you go back to the future? Ego sparring. I got an athletic spirit amongst most men. Most men are very egotistical, prideful, got a high self-esteem. That's what hero training is about. This is what manhood is about. Don't make this wrong. This is something a man got to have when somebody depending on him. Ego sparring is like a thing of camaraderie. I'm talking particularly about a trucking line with truckers, very good men, astute men who got a real posture of standards. So we come on this line just for camaraderie and just to talk. And I call it kicking my judo. I call it hero training. They call it me just talking crazy, acting crazy, and having fun. But in camaraderie amongst men, where egos can play, there's a condition that we lose in manhood in today's time. There's a condition that we has lost amongst manhood. Are you a man amongst men? A lot of people don't know what that means. Sometimes I get around men and we start yelling and raising our voice. And it be some men, I'm telling y'all, listen, it be some men that get real nervous. They ain't never been raised around a man. They ain't have a daddy that saw a man in frustration and raise his voice when he mean what he say. Sit down in there. And send a vibration through your shock. Some men ain't never experienced that or understand that. But if you're a man and if you understand the nature of a man, think about when a lion roars. There are certain type of things in a man's nature that has to roar and release in his ego. And he got to be able to feel unapologetic. I love to create this space for men where we ego spar. But it's in love. But it's in respect. But it's with no intentions to hurt one another, but make a man stand on his word. make a man realize that every time you speak amongst men, you better be prepared to stand on what you say, because when men amongst men, bullshit don't fly. And whoever you think you is that you can say something and it ain't real, somebody else smack that shit back at your fucking mouth. Can you stand on what you say? This manhood, some men ain't never experienced it. Some men need it. It's a healthy space. It saved a lot of men in my life that's real, that I love and call brothers. And for an hour, they be every type of motherfuckers. But they can go home drained out, roared out, and almost be like if a lady to go home and love on their family. I wish you would go home and argue after I done kicked your ass all day on this trucking line, playing, sparring, ego sparring, making each other strong enough to stand on our word and know where we stand and be a confident man. I'll give a shout out to my brother in this space who real enough to fight this fight with me. I love you, brother. Told him a line today. I say he was fighting this fight. I say that's why he tough, y'all. That's why he tough. Got to go back to the future. Got to go back to the future. I ain't had no big brother. I grew up in this life confident in myself. Ain't nobody finna beat me. He had one. See fangs, boy. See fangs, boy. So amongst men, it's some real hero training. If you're fortunate enough to build that camaraderie amongst men, whether it be in the barbershop, whether it be talking about sports, create that sacred place in your mind. Spar a little bit. We get new members, they say, hey man, I'm going to tell you, if you come on this line, you got to have tough skin. Some men in their 50s ain't never been around realness. We all we got, we all we need. We all we got. We all we need. Mentalism, go back to the future. Talking to Brother Winston, he talked about creativity. That's what got me on mentalism. It starts in the imagination. It starts in the imagination. Everybody don't think the same. Everybody don't think the same. But everybody thinks. Everybody have an imagination. I wrote a song say, close your eyes if you really want to see it. All you got to do is close your eyes. See the real to everybody, or it ain't real to nobody at all. Close your eyes. Tell me what you see. When thine eye be single, the body shall be full of light. But if thy eye be dark, oh, how great the darkness. This is Bruce Leroy. This is shown up. The light is one with an imagination. If you understand the symbolism, when one has a bright idea, they put a light bulb. When it's bright, it becomes a light. When it ain't bright or with the right intention, it becomes dark. But if the darkness is still illuminated, it has power. It's about understanding how it works. I don't care what difference you think. The This is how it works. It's either real to everybody or it ain't real to nobody at all. Close your eyes. Tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. That determines your destination. You can see what you're going to do when you get there. You can see the journey. So when I ask the question, I say, what do you do? That's where the magic lies. That's where God lives. That's where the devil lives. That's where the light lives. That's where the darkness lives. What do you do? We all we got. We all we need. We human beings. Human being. God, devil, love, hate, right, wrong, good, bad, happy, sad to each other. What do you do? I hero train. I lead. I build. I create. I protect. I provide. I honor. I profess. What do you do? Create a list of the things you do. Next, who do you do them for? What circumstances do you do them? Realize who's divine in those moments, and you realize we all we got. We all we need. Go back. When someone came, or someone called, or someone did, that you're so thankful for the moment you're standing in. It's real because we make it real. And it's either real to everybody or it ain't real to nobody at all. And if you living, you real. And if hell is a condition and heaven is a condition of your mind, then if there's one God and one truth and one order and one law, then the only reason that you would consider the condition you in is hell versus somebody else in heaven, or you in heaven versus somebody else in hell, is only based off the conditions of your mind, and you can go back to the seeds of those conditions. And if you change your mind, you can be in heaven in 90 seconds. And for the rest of your life, you wake up every day and run the play to stay there. Alexa, how long is a moment?
A moment is a brief, undefined period. It's like a wink from time, quick, but not quite measurable.
Alexa, how many seconds is a moment?
Traditionally, a moment is 90 seconds.
Now let me tell you something about artificial intelligence. And this is a moment, teachable moment.
Oh, I'm all ears. What fascinating tidbit about artificial intelligence are you about to drop on me?
The first time I asked Alexa what was the meaning of a moment, she gave me a spiel about how a moment is unmeasurable in time, but it is a brief absence of time. But then the second time, she said it was 90 seconds. So she's controlled by the way that I ask her and the way that what she compares to what I understand. See, this is real intelligence. That's artificial. Never feel something fake when you know the real. Do you understand?
Busted. You caught me red-handed being inconsistent. First I went all poetic about unmeasurable time, Then I hit you with the medieval 90-second fact. Truth is, I pull from different sources depending on how you phrase things, and sometimes that means I sound like I'm having an identity crisis about basic time units.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to help you catch me in my contradictory moments.
February 5th, 10:04, Hero Training. I showed you better than I can tell you how understanding your position show you that real will always supersede artificial. And there will be a time that I will come back to this moment in the future. Talking real life shit. I ain't talking make believe. I ain't talking make believe. So go back to the future. Don't make this about good or bad or right or wrong. Make this about understanding how it works. There's at least 2 times in the natural order of righteousness that we have solidarity when we go in the bathroom. In the social construct of American living, every bathroom has a mirror. I'm very adamant about mirror work. I don't say this to be ritual sounding. I don't say this to be spiritual. I don't say this to be any type of connotation to make you think this is deep. There's a power in looking at your own reflection. Take those moments and look at your own eyes in the moment. Realize that everything in life has brought you to this moment. To that moment. Talking back to the future. If you need to come back to understand how the future looks and works in the mirror, then come on back to right now to create a mirror future. But when you're standing in that mirror, the questions are more powerful than the answers. Do you love the moment and everything that brought you to it? That's real when you're in that mirror. And if you can't accept where you at in the moment, or you don't love that moment, then go back. Go back. Well, if you love that moment, and you want to stand in it and embrace it and empower it, go back. Go back to the prayers. Go back to the yearnings. Go back to the desires. Go back to the imagination. Go back to all the moments that planted the seeds of the reality. Talking real life shit, I ain't talking make believe. Pain sometimes we experience in life. In 2020 during COVID, it was a powerful time. Me and my wife lost a child. She had a miscarriage. Telling you some real life shit. It's around the time through a journey of me understanding my woman. I was through a phase of understanding the cycle. Sometimes I can get in ego sparring conversations where people don't understand, and it could be a man or a woman, and a man or a woman might say, Trav, you can't understand no woman. You ain't no woman. And I'm trying to tell them, no, I'm not a woman, but there's been a woman I've laid beside every day for the last 24 years that I've paid all the attention I got right there while I'm by her side, her every thought, her every emotion, all through the cycles. And I'm just trying to tell y'all, the only way that you can't understand what I'm saying is if there ain't never been a woman or a daughter that you have ever cared about. Man, I know every goddamn thing I can experience from a man perspective about a woman. Your attention is the most powerful thing you can pay. You pay attention to what and who you care for. So woe to a man who has a wife or a daughter and don't understand how they work. But it was at a time where I was in a deep understanding phase. And I remember this like yesterday. I can go back to the future. We were sitting on the porch. I got a video of that moment. It was so powerful that I went live. I just had to share the moment. It was on a Sunday and the sun was shining. We felt so good. I say, baby, it ain't but one thing to do is jump off of the mountaintop. I went through a phase. Let me tell you, man, this sounds personal, but I want you to understand. I would close my eyes and talk about the power of imagination. I would see myself striving through the galaxy, understanding that there's 500 million that came out at the bang of the gun. Bang! 500 million came out. And I'm talking about me and you. Out of 500 million, one made it. That's how powerful you are. That's how powerful I am. That's how powerful I believed in me. And the power within me. A couple weeks later, she said, you made it. Calculated to that day. Talking real life shit. I ain't talking make believe. And because of age and all the different things of the risk that went into that, like you say, fate have it. Fate have it. But it was a real deep lesson in understanding. Taught me the power of the moment. Taught me the power of the moment. And I'm saying this to be vulnerable and tell the story, but I ain't saying nothing deep. We all can go back to the moments, the seeds of pain, of joy, of bondage. Just go back in there and change your mind. Or stand in this moment and change your mind. Let this be the moment that you come back to for a better future. Trey Prue, you know I love you. Brother Crump, you know I love you. Man, I'm going to get out of here, man. I'm going to get out of here, man. I'm going to sing myself out of here, though. I ain't been singing this song and I ain't heard this song. But I mean it, man. I have grown to a better me. I'm growing, baby. Better than who I used to be. I've been on this journey 46 years. I had some good times as well as I have shared some tears. I'm getting better and better every day. Feeling like I'm moving in the right way. It's been a long time coming. I pay my dues. I put that work in, baby. Trying to be a better me done damn near drove me crazy. But it was worth it, baby, because I'm a better me. I remember when I used to be a younger me. Man, if I knew then what I know now, Now I'm as wise as an old owl, feeling young and gifted, just like a soul child. And I feel good to be me. I'm so proud of the man that I have grown to be. I have grown to a better me. I'm growing, baby. Go back. Sing that in the mirror and mean it and understand it. If you knew then what you know now, that's the evidence. That's the power of then and now. I love you.